Hello, and today I'm going to talk about Danny Ings. I don't have him in my side. Am I insane? Is he worth the price increase? Should we look at what's happening? Let's find out. So, Danny Ings, 8.5 million. Let's look at a couple of first things. I mean, the move to Southampton for Danny Ings was fantastic. In that half a season, he averages 4.9 points per 90 minutes played. And for the second season, he's there. This just goes wild. 6.36 points for the entire 1920 season. That's top draw. It's fantastic. It's amazing. He ends up, the stats that he puts out are absolutely fantastic. His goals are on one penalty. 22 goals in a season, one penalty. Now, what we've really got to pay attention to though is the price increase. 8.5 million for a Southampton striker is a lot of money. So, from what I can see, he has to average around about 5.5 points for every 90 minutes played to be considered good value, in my opinion. He looks like he's recovered from his injuries, but, and that this is the big but, can he keep doing it? So, if you look at his record in the Championship, he's roughly a 1 in 3 striker. His entire career is about 1 in 3. In the Premier League, it's closer to 1 in 2. Last season, he scored 10 home goals, 12 away goals. That's really good as well. 3 yellow cards. So he's not losing a massive amount of points. I went through, I looked at it, as I've said before. I think if he can score more than 5 points a game, he represents good value, particularly against players like Kane, Jimenez, Martial, because he's been moved from midfield to striker. He no longer perhaps presents the value that you might have got. But if he picks up the points, he will do. If Man United come out firing, then he could be the one to go for. But to me, I started this thinking Ings was too expensive. And the more I've started to look at it, you can start to see the value. The other thing, of course, is fixtures. Southampton's opening fixtures are fantastic, actually. 5 home games, 5 away games, and you could actually pick him game week 1 and leave him there until game week 13, where they then play Arsenal and Man City back to back. He could be a set and forget striker for the first 10 games. Every other game with them, including a few others, is basically a similar side to themselves. They play a couple of the promoted teams. For me, I'm coming around to the idea that it is set and forget. Let's see if we can get him in there, and if he hits the ground running, he could be the one to have. I've put together this little table of some of the more popular picks for striker, especially some of the more expensive picks. And you can see that Ings is an expected value based on points last season to price this season, holds up very well against the likes of Vardy, Jimenez, Martial, but we've discussed the difference of points for him. He loses a point every goal scored moving from midfield to striker, so he will be a good player, but whether he provides the value, I don't know. Then you have to look at the number of managers that have chosen him. Ings, 26%. A quarter of players have picked him. Next up, you've got Jimenez, and then Martial and Vardy. But Martial's picked by nearly 20% of people, and he isn't going to play till game week 2. So either a lot of people are going to be sat with an expensive striker on the bench, or they're wild carding the next week and moving things around, what will we see? Kane, will he hit the ground running? At 10.5 million, he's still expensive. You know, then you've got, on that table I've put Wood. Wood at Burnley is a safe signing. 10 goals a season, a couple of assists, 6.5 million. You can't really go wrong with him. If he has a good season and manages again and hits 15, 16 goals, he's a bargain. If he has a bad season and hits his usual customary 10 or so, he's still a good deal. Could be that excellent third striker. So where do I put this for Ings? Well, I like points per million. I always think you're spending the millions, points per million. And for me, he really still offers the value. If he can hit 170 points, something along those lines, 17, 18 goals, maybe a couple of assists to replace the goals he doesn't get, that could be the one that for me does it. So where do I stand? Well, at this moment, I'm going to put him in my side. I'm going to release a video at the end of the week showing my final squad, and for me, he's really laying claim to a slot.